If tweets mentioned
Oops,
at me.
wrong one. We're live
On the internet.
on the internet. Things.
Hello.
So, welcome everyone to the 61st episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. With me, as always, Joe. And then this
Hey.
week's special guests, not guest, for the first time in a very long time, Zoiney and RoyalBleu.
Hello.
What's up? Shit.
Oh,
It's
man.
getting royal up in here with these Zoiney people.
Aw, man. This is unreal.
Unreal.
Like, I don't want you guys to take this as an insult, but I'm a little bit starstruck right now.
Oh,
Oh,
I
man.
bet you are. With the famous mustache.
Hey, man.
I agree.
The best
So,
mustache in gaming.
And
That may
maybe
be
the
true.
only one.
And maybe the only one. Gerard has his beard, and I'll have my mustache.
I think you're the only one who rocks the solo mustache, so you've got your thing.
Well, I had a beard with it, but I had to shave
Man,
it.
and
They split ways. They don't talk anymore.
you
It was a
added little
nasty
spice
breakup.
to the pudding.
What? You have a
Oh.
little mustache to the pudding.
No, that's not what I said, Joe.
That's
I
what
said
I'm
spice.
saying. I don't care. I want some mustache in my pudding.
No, you don't.
Joe, we've been over some of the things that you told me to do.
I'm not telling you to do this. I'm saying I want it. You're not allowed to have it.
Oh boy.
We don't mean to bring up bad blood on the things you brought up earlier.
So we'll start with what we start with every week, I guess. What have you guys been playing for video games?
This week.
Yeah.
Who goes first? Do you
It
want to rock,
doesn't-
paper, scissors?
We can't see you, so there's no way to confirm that you're rock, paper, scissoring with us. There's also 4 of us.
You can just trust me. I won.
Okay. You
Alright,
won the right
that
to
means
go
you go-
first.
Lately, I've been playing a little bit of Dark Souls, but that's been a fun experience. Besides that, not too much that I can really think of. Let me check my Steam. I don't know why I
Like,
wanted to go first now.
The original Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2?
One.
One?
I've heard a lot of iffy things about Dark Souls 2, and I don't have the money to throw at it. I was given Dark Souls 1.
I would argue
also
that Dark
free on
Souls 2
Xbox Live.
is... Dark Souls 2
Oh, is that-
is, like... I think Joe was saying that Dark Souls 1's free on Xbox Live. It's
Yeah,
like
it is
the
right
Xbox
now.
Live Gold
Yeah.
thing.
I heard
But-
about that.
I like Dark Souls 2. I started playing it this week. It's that there's just like a couple things different about it. Like there's more frames when you're like trying to raise your shield, things like that.
So it takes longer.
Yeah, so it's kind of harder actually. Like I would argue that game mechanically is harder, but does a better job of introducing yourself, like introducing the player to what it does.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I
like
can
how
get that.
like Monster Hunter is kind of harder than Dark Souls, but Monster Hunter does a way better job at introducing you to like how to play Monster Hunter, but it also does it
Yeah.
with like an 8-hour tutorial. So
I can't really say much about the introduction to Dark Souls 1 because I went the wrong way for 4 hours, so the game was just way too hard.
yeah, well, that's part of that introduction thing. Like
I don't know. Apparently, I'm the only one who didn't pick up on the fact that I was not going the proper way.
the first time I played that game I went the wrong way too. It's not the wrong
lines,
way.
straight
I mean, you can go and take it, but you're not going to win.
You don't have faith in me.
You're gonna lose if you go there.
Well, if it's your first time playing the game, you're not going to do it. Like, you can go that way if you're really fucking good at Dark Souls, but if you're not, you're gonna lose. You're gonna die, because everything's way harder than it should be.
Isn't that way like the way with the boss or whatever?
Are you doubting my ability?
Well, there's bosses in both directions. So you're supposed to like go right at the start of the game and kill all of those bosses except for like the last one, and then go back and kill all the bosses on the left.
Spoilers.
Whatever. Game's been out forever. I'm not even spoiling like what the bosses are. You're just supposed to go to the right and then kill everything, and then go to the left and kill everything.
Not even
then
like
go back
spoiling.
To the right.
There's bosses in the game in this specific direction, and then in the other direction, there's more bosses.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the game had bosses.
Well, then, I'm
well,
sorry.
we're gonna spoil everything for you. Did you know that Mega Man also has bosses that you're supposed to kill in a specific order?
This is the worst day of my life.
Smash.
I'm sorry. I'm just ruining everything.
Somebody tweeted at me, or all of us actually, and said, "Is there supposed to be no chat?" And the chat's not loading for me.
Yeah, chat's not loading for anyone. I think Twitch is kind of fucked up at the moment.
Oh,
which
it
sucks.
might be a Twitch thing then.
Twitch.
Because
Come
I was
on,
expecting
Twitch,
chat to be
baby.
running.
Wake up, Twitch.
That's a party foul, Twitch.
Twitch, you're gonna get punched in the dick if you don't fix it.
Yeah, chat's not loading for me either. But this channel's
Joe,
supposed to have chat.
Been over
so
this.
Yeah, it's supposed to have chat, but yeah.
Motherfucker.
Well, if you want to ask questions, I will once again reiterate the email for that. If you email ryan@dappergaming.com, then I will read off some questions later. We've got a couple, so
Or you can tweet at us.
yeah, or that, I guess.
Yeah, just use the little ampersand things.
You mean the @ symbol?
Yeah.
No.
Whatever.
So what else has been played?
Who's going next?
Go full circle.
Go. I'll go next.
Okay.
I've been playing Sonic All Star. I've been playing Sonic All Stars Racing.
Oh,
That's
a
a great game. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things about that game.
I don't have a Wii U, and I can't buy one, and I don't have Mario Kart 8, and I can't buy it. So I'm playing Sega All Stars instead. Transformed.
That game's
That's
better
an amazing
anyways.
game. It's an amazing game. I love it. I was also playing Rayman 3 a little bit. Not that great.
Not as fun.
Why are you like reviewing that game? Because last week
No.
you were playing Rayman, and you're like, I was playing Rayman 3, and it's not good. I don't know why I liked this game when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, maybe I
It's
was
a
playing
really
that last
long
week.
game.
Okay, maybe I did. Okay, maybe I didn't play it this week.
Oh. Because I was gonna
Never
be like,
mind.
if you're not reviewing this, why the fuck are you still playing it? You said it was bad.
I don't think I played it this week. I played it last week.
Oh.
Things kind of blend together. I
Fair
played
enough.
Ocarina of Time a little bit, but not really. I just kind of played it for a video. What else have I played? I played EYE Cybermancy Divine. I don't fucking remember what it's called.
I
EYE Divine.
Cybermancy.
Yeah, I Divine Cybermancy. That
I
game is
remember
good.
that.
My friend bought it for me like a year and a half ago.
Dude,
and
that
we
game's
finally started playing
multiplayer
it. Yeah, it is.
online.
Um,
We should play that. I've been trying to get my girlfriend to buy it.
It's a great game.
It's
My
great once you get
friend-
past like all of its fucking weirdness, because it does
Yeah.
stuff in strange ways. Because
Yeah.
it's basically like a multiplayer. God, what game am I thinking of? Why can't I remember the name of it? It's a really great game.
It's okay, Ryan. Just take your time.
Ubisoft rebooted it the other year. Human Revolution. Deus Ex.
Oh, Deus Ex.
It's like the old Deus Ex games, basically, but multiplayer. And it chooses to do some of the mechanics from Deus Ex in really fucking strange ways.
Yeah. Like there's hacking, and then when you hack, it's like Final Fantasy. It's weird.
Joe, you said that you don't have a Wii U.
Yes, I know.
So you're telling me you wouldn't get a Wii U for the hit title Just Dance 4?
Yes. I would get it for any game on that system if I had money.
Okay, you're a true gamer.
Yeah. Also, Electronic Superjoy Groove City came out this week. I bought that literally the second it came out, and I started playing it, and I love it so much. I love Electronic Superjoy.
Is that like DLC, or is it...
It's a completely new game.
Oh, okay.
But it's also only like $4 right now, and I think it's like a 10% discount. So it's pretty cheap for an amazing game. Let's put it that way. I've loved every second of it. I think that's about all I've been playing this week. All that I can remember, at least.
All right.
Now we're down to the final two.
I'll let
That's
Royal
what-
go next because I always go last.
Dude, you can go.
No.
If you want.
No, it would be no. Please go before me.
All right. Fuck. I've been playing like Mario Golf a little bit. You know, just casually because I got that day it came out.
You mean like
That's
a pro?
pretty cool. Like
You
a
ain't-
what?
You ain't no casual. You're a pro, Mario Golf.
I suck at that game. So bad.
Well, never mind then.
Because this is my first Mario Golf game. I never played the other ones. This is my first time. So
I have a feeling that he's trying to hustle you, Joe. Don't listen.
so play me for money.
I got $100.
Play me
right
for
here.
money. I'm really bad. I promise.
I
Just play
suck.
me for all your money.
All right. Well, if you give me the money first off, because I'm going to win, I'll use it to buy Mario Golf, and then I can play you for the money that you gave me.
Oh no, that's not what I meant.
But I won't have the money by
That's
then.
not what I want.
Yeah, I've been playing that Battle Block Theater on Steam. I fucking love that game.
Oh yeah, that came out.
I
should
haven't
check
heard
that out.
good things about that game.
I love
How
it.
have you not heard? I've only heard good things about that game.
It's so much fun.
I've never heard anyone say something bad about that game.
I've
It
heard a
pisses
few
me
people
off
say
at
bad
times.
things about it.
Ah,
That
well,
game
then they're no
aggravates me.
fun.
Well, the things that
That's
I've
a
mostly
bold
heard are
statement,
about
Joe.
like how the game's not good by yourself. Basically, like it's only good with friends because then you just try to kill each other. But like outside of that, the game's not good.
I played it by myself and I had tons of fun with it.
Stamper is hilarious.
Oh
And
my
I-
god, yes.
Stamper is fucking hilarious. I haven't really gotten far on the single player, so I don't really know. I've only really been playing multiplayer on it, and I've been loving it personally. But yeah, fucking Stamper. I've been playing that. Super Mario Sunshine. Went back and played that a little bit because I never
That's a
beat that.
new one.
That's one of those new games.
Yeah, it just came out.
And then like shit like Pajama Sam. Like that's the stuff I've been playing recently.
Like a boss.
Sounds fun.
I
I
love
think
it.
the Twitch chat is working, by the way. Just
Oh,
yes,
well,
it finally loaded up.
I guess I'll
Sick.
try refreshing.
I just refreshed and it came up. So
Wow.
neato.
What have you been playing, Ryan?
oh boy. So I guess
Minecraft.
no. Wow.
Oh wow.
As much of it as I have to, just for like testing shit for
Yeah.
work, but not for fun.
So what have you been playing?
So last night we did a board game night at. It was going to be at my house, but circumstances changed and it had to be at someone else's house. The people I live with are bad human beings, but we moved it to my friend's house because like everyone, all of his roommates and stuff were out of town, so. We played Shadows over Camelot last night. I don't know if you guys play many board games. That one's a pretty good like starter board game because a lot of the people that were there last night don't really play board games. It's a game where you have like up to 7 players and you're playing against the board basically to try to save Camelot. But one of you is potentially
I
a
can respect
traitor.
that.
And
I can respect that.
great. So one of you is like one of you is potentially a traitor. Last night I was the traitor. I ended up winning the game. So like the goal of everyone is basically to get enough white swords to like win the game, and you need to get 7 white swords at least to win the game. And when it gets to 12 swords laid down on the table, then you calculate who wins the game, basically, like whether the traitor won or whether like the other people won, the good guys.
So the other people who aren't the traitor are essentially like a team.
Yeah, well, the thing is that no one knows who the traitor is except for the traitor. So the traitor's playing the game just with everyone else, but trying to make people make kind of shitty decisions. Because every turn that you like play, you have to do something bad, and then you have to do something good after that. And so like all of the bad things start to stack up, and there's just like there's like 6 different quests basically, and you can be about to lose all of them. And so it's like, okay, well, which quests do we want to actually win then? And so, like, what the trader wants to do is kind of be like, oh, well, I can't do this quest because I don't have the right cards, even though he has the right cards, and then goes and does the quest that doesn't really need to be done.
Okay, I think I kind of get the gist of it. Like, so they're a team, but they don't know they're a team, essentially.
Yeah, well, they don't know who's actually part of the team. And then...
Well, everyone thinks they're part of a team, but there's one douchebag in the team who's fucking everything up.
Yeah, basically. And so, like, yesterday we were
And
playing...
that was Ryan.
Yeah, I was the traitor. So yesterday we were playing, and I was, like, just playing the game perfectly normally because everyone else was kind of new and not playing very well. And then we got to this one point where we're, like, about to lose the game. And they're like, okay, Ryan, so what you have to do is, like, sacrifice 1 life... and then go kill a catapult, because all I've been doing is killing these catapults, and when you get 12 catapults on the board, you instantly lose the game. And so I was like, yeah, that's what I'll totally do. You place a catapult, and then I'll just sacrifice a life and kill the catapult. My friend places a catapult, we're 1 catapult away from losing the game, and I'm just like, catapult. He's like, what the fuck, why would you do that? You're joking, right? I was like, I'm the traitor. I just won. Ha ha ha. And everyone's like, no! After like 2 hours of playing this fucking game.
See, this sounds like something that would rest on my conscience, like, days after.
I fucked over my whole team.
Yeah, and we had a
Believe I
full
placed that
team. Like,
catapult.
it
All
was.
those people
No, that sounds like
died.
fun, though.
It's really fun, and it's
Pretty cool.
the thing that's nice about that game is that it's like easy. It's hard enough, and like there's enough depth to the mechanics that someone who plays a lot of board games can actually play that game like 4 or 5 times and still really enjoy it. Whereas, but it's also easy enough that someone who's never played the game can pretty much learn how to play in 15 minutes. So you don't have to like spend hours
got, like,
trying
a-
to explain this game.
It's got, like, a really nice balance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Nice, man.
like that's a game
Sounds
that I
like fun.
usually recommend to people when they start trying to play board games, because like it's a co-op game for one, so like you're playing with your friends, not against your friends, and it's easy enough that like the game is hard, but the rules are easy enough that you can start kind of just playing right away.
That sounds like fun. I'm not too huge into
Yeah.
board games, but that definitely sounds like an interesting one. Because when I think board games, I'm like, Monopoly.
Yeah, and like Monopoly is such a
Scrabble.
shitty board game, and I'm like, let's play
It's
board
just the
games. And
game.
like, are we gonna play Risk? And I was like, no, that game's bad. They're like, no, Risk is great. I was like, not really, because like when you get into real board games, they're so much more than just like Monopoly and Risk. Those games are really simple. Like they're for children. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you could argue that Monopoly's not for children because it just makes you hate everyone. But for the most part, yeah.
yeah,
No
well,
one leaves with friends after a game of Monopoly.
that game's
I just
also
like
kind of
playing
shitty
with the
because
little steel player pieces in Monopoly.
the other thing that's like about kind of harder board games or like more advanced ones, like Shadows over Camelot has no dice rolling. It's all card based, and
That's cool.
so like that's nice. There's only one part of the game that's dice based, and it's like when you go to kill a catapult, because what you do is like place down these fight cards, and whatever the value of the fight cards are, you have to like roll the attack die for the catapult, and if your like fight cards are a higher number than what's rolled on the die, then you beat the catapult. But like that's the only dice rolling in the game. Whereas
Alright.
like Monopoly is way
Yeah.
too much dice rolling that is just like random luck.
Yeah, it seems like the most conventional board games are like kind of out there to give all the other ones like a bad rep.
Yeah, mostly.
Now board games have reputations to uphold.
Let's play Sorry. Yay.
Let's play life,
Anyone
guys.
remember-
See to live up to.
Dude, Mousetrap.
Don't you rag on Mousetrap.
Yeah,
I don't even-
Joel,
I
no,
can't even
think you
remember how to
just
play that
crossed
game.
The line.
I just remember it
That
has
game is
fucking
the-
stupid mechanics. Like,
It does.
But
Basically, you have to
Joel,
like make the whole trap, and then you have to get to the end, and then you fucking walk in a circle for 20 hours until someone captures the other person.
but Joe, did you ever set off the trap?
Yes.
If that didn't make the entire game worth it, you didn't have a childhood.
I like how the thing that I vividly remember is setting off the trap and then it not like
It wouldn't
working.
work.
Like it never fucking works because it's just like all this stuff that has to be like kind of precisely lined up, but you're sticking it into this cardboard board, and so it fucking is like all twisted and shit. Nothing fucking hits.
Yeah. You got
So
like
dumb.
a 50% chance of it working.
Ain't no love for Mousetrap.
No,
No,
it's-
Dapper Gaming podcast tonight, huh?
No,
No.
We hate Mousetrap here.
the worst.
All right, so Joe's been playing game. I think I can't
I've got
pronounce.
more games.
Yeah.
Oh,
We just
Ryan plays
that was
a
just
lot of
last night. I
games.
play a lot of games.
He's a fancy motherfucker.
So after we played Shadows, which because like there wasn't enough time to play it another time, we ended up playing Brawl. Like Smash Brothers Brawl. That's the one for Wii, right?
The board game?
No.
Yeah, that's the one for
Well,
Wii.
Okay, good. So we played that.
Board games on Wii now.
I never play Smash Brothers like ever. There's like I probably played it less than 10 times in my life, but I managed to actually kind of do okay last night, even though I don't know any of the moves or how to play that game at all. And I couldn't tell what character I was for like huge portions of time. But whatever.
If there are any competitive Smash players in the audience, I encourage you to cover your ears. But I have a feeling that most people who play Smash don't really know what they're doing, so you're pretty much on the same level as everyone now.
I think
know
I
what
really
I'm doing.
only won because I play like a lot of Tekken and Street Fighter, and so I actually block. No one else blocks, but I was blocking. And I would mostly
Dude, that's
just like
my whole strategy.
I would mostly just like block and then like up B and get away from everyone else, and then they kill each other, and I'd be like, well, I have 4 stocks and you have 2, so I guess I just won. And we're like, oh fuck.
Yay.
What character did you play as?
I played as a bunch of different characters. I was just randoming all night. So I played like Meta
All right,
Knight
'cause
and like Rob.
I was gonna say, if you used Link and you just blocked an up B, you.
I used Link at one point.
Mennonite
Oh.
OP.
I won like half
Ban
of my
it
matches, and all my friends were kind of
It is
pissed off.
banned. Mennonite's the only character in Brawl that's banned from tournaments.
Yeah,
Rest in peace, Meta Knight.
and I ended up playing Meta Knight first and just like wrecking everyone. And then I was like, this game's easy. And then I got like every other character and I was like, what the fuck is happening?
What is going on here?
What's happening?
I pretty much just found out what like every character's spin attack was, and then just fucking used that to hit everyone. I would like just run away, let all my friends start fighting each other, run in, spin attack, and hit all of them off. And I fucked people up as Jigglypuff for whatever reason, because no one else was going for the final smash that game, and I just fucking like killed everyone. Like, I think I got 12 kills that game. Just because
You would have
of,
made
like,
Japan proud with that match then.
Oh yeah. It's because I got 3 final
They love
smashes, so I
Jigglypuff.
killed everyone 3 times. They're just like, oh, fuck you.
I think final smashes were a really cool mechanic. I'm not too big on Brawl when you compare it to Melee, but I think that was a really cool mechanic they added.
Yeah. I don't like how it's always so random, though.
I don't know.
Who
They
gets
seem
the
to like be
ball.
popping up like every fucking 15 seconds, basically. So
Well, I think he meant on like who actually breaks it. Like there's no,
Oh.
it doesn't seem like there's a set amount of damage on there.
Yeah.
no, I don't
So
think
it's
there
not
is.
like, oh, it breaks after 5 hits. It's like, or it's like it breaks after 1 super hit. It's like, it'll break just fucking randomly. It doesn't care.
Yeah, that's
I
a
know
fair
a lot
criticism.
of people. A lot of people would argue that like Smash, at least in a competitive sense, shouldn't have any elements of randomness to it. And I've always been kind of the person who thinks like that's part of the game. Like a lot of stages are typically banned when you play competitive Smash Bros, and I don't really understand
Final
why.
destination.
Well,
Fox only.
No items.
one of the nicer things
like-
about no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna be like, well, I mean, you can turn it off. I don't see anyone could like, even though they do complain about this, I don't get why they're mad about the randomness, you know? Because that is what makes it. This is gonna sound gay, special though. That's what makes it cool. Like in comparison to other fighter games, you know what I'm saying? Gay.
Blue, I can't believe you'd say that word.
Don't worry, I don't
Okay.
even think that like Smash is really a great competitive game.
Yeah, it's really not.
Oh,
It's gonna be at MLG this season though.
I know,
Right.
and
Actually,
I'm just
no, they're-
like,
It's I think they're doing Melee though this season.
whatever. It's
Ryan.
a better one, anyways.
this is going on the internet. You might not want to say that.
I've said it before. No one's gotten that mad
People
yet.
Said it
will
was.
roast you alive.
That's
like,
okay.
saying Smash isn't that great.
Well, I said
Oh.
it's like a competitive game. I don't think it's a good match.
No,
I
but
think
I
like
would
the
agree with
idea of like Smash as competitive is kind of stupid. It's like, why don't you just play any of the actually like competitive fighting games? Because like Smash is
Because no
too
one watches
random. People watch. What are you fucking talking about? People watch Street Fighter, and Injustice is like a fucking new game. People watch that. They watch Tekken,
It's true.
King of Fighters.
They
They probably watch more of that than Smash.
MLG event this year is mostly fighters. Surprisingly, it's Killer Instinct, Injustice, and Smash Bros. Melee, and then Call of Duty and StarCraft.
Oh
Last
yeah,
two
they
are
got
just,
rid
like,
of League
staples, huh?
because they
Yeah, they
started-
did.
It's because they started doing a couple Dota matches, and you're not allowed to show. And if you like are a tournament that uses League, you're not allowed to have any other MOBAs. And
That's dumb.
That's
MLG started broadcasting Dota and Infinite Crisis. They were doing Infinite Crisis as like a promotional thing, so they had to drop League. So they're not going to do League anymore. So the
Well,
only people
that's a
doing
bummer.
League now are basically just Riot.
It's probably dumb on their part, but whatever.
No, it's
You know-
dumb on League's part, really.
Oh yeah, true.
The thing is that like tournaments that broadcast League, if they aren't LCS, like the Riot tournament, then they don't get views, and so there's no point in like doing that stuff. It performs worse than StarCraft and Dota and everything else, just because no one watches anything that isn't LCS. So
I
Yeah.
know MLG's League of Legends views were always really good. I heard that it was
yeah, but that
outperforming
was
StarCraft
pre
for a while.
LCS.
Yeah, true.
Now that LCS exists, no one watches it. Whereas like for StarCraft, MLG like contributes to WCS, the StarCraft fucking league,
Tournament.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like you get points for that, so people still watch that because like it counts towards the big like end of year tournament, whereas it doesn't in League. So
I've never really followed competitive gaming, but it sounds interesting to say the least. I always wonder why there's not really an emphasis on competitive like racing games.
I have no clue
Like-
why. That's an
I've
interesting
seen it, at
question.
least.
I think we need MLG Sonic transformed to Mario Kart 8 and Midnight Club 2.
Well, I was thinking more
You
like
did it.
Drift or something.
You did it, Joe.
I did it.
You said
I
it now.
saved the world.
It's out in the open, Joe. But I kind of agree. I think in terms of competitive games, though, I don't think randomness is always a problem. In Smash's sense, I kind of agree. I think Smash was definitely more designed as a party game.
Oh, well,
more
it
than a
totally
competitive
is.
game.
Like, Nintendo says it's not a competitive game. They fucking made it. They're like, guys, this game not competitive. Like,
It's not competitive. You take it too seriously.
That's
But,
why they made Brawl the way they did with tripping and shit, because they didn't want it to be competitive. And yet
Yeah.
people still played it competitively. So
Well,
they're
I think
like,
that could be
fuck
expected.
it, we'll make the new one competitive. We don't care. It'll be more like Melee.
well,
It
it seems like this time.
a good example. Oh,
No, sorry, go
my
ahead.
bad. No, you go ahead.
Okay, then. Well, it seems like this time with, like, the new Smash, they're doing more to make it competitive, and that like they're getting rid of the tripping, and Final Destination is like being skinned with every type, like with every level theme basically. So like they're doing a lot more to make it more enjoyable to watch competitively, but I don't know if I'm interested still. Like, I still think that game is just not a great competitive game.
I think you're not a great
Internet.
competitive game.
Well, it's just like not very. The meta is
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
not.
simple.
Yeah.
Like
But,
it was so blatantly not built for it, and so it's just like, I don't really
Oh,
want
we'll
to
see
Yeah,
watch
I
what
this.
they
totally
do.
agree.
We'll see how it's like with the new Smash. Maybe the new Smash will be crazy competitive.
Rosalina is going to be banned
Rosalina
because she
does.
can like pull all the items that are banned to her. But I was going to say, I think a good example of a competitive game that works pretty well, but has a lot of just randomness to it is like Pokemon. Like there's a lot of RNG in that, but it's not really problematic. Like 90% of the game is RNG. Well, that's totally a fake statistic, but you get my point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of RNG in it.
The game is RNG. Yeesh.
Quote me on that.
Well, I think a better example would be
It
Dota
will.
2. Dota 2 like has a lot of item use, and a lot of those items are like just randomized chance that they trigger like on an attack. So there's like a lot of randomness in Dota,
Yeah.
even though it's like super fucking competitive. Like arguably more competitive than League. And it's got more randomness than League does.
Yeah, I
But
can
it's
agree
like-
with that. I never really got into MOBAs, but it sounds like a good example from what you just said.
Yeah, well, like, one of the arguments that people try to always make against Dota about how it's not competitive is that there's too much randomness in it, but it's considered way more competitive than League, so...
Bitch, please. Dota the
I'll
shit.
have you know, as a competitive League player, you're wrong.
Have you know, as the Dota 2 Navy SEAL squad leader, I killed 200 Dota characters in 2 hours. I could kick your...
Oh
Joe, is
boy.
that true?
Yes.
I'm a little intimidated to be in here now.
That's right. Just punch yourself in the penis.
So, I played other games this week. That just covers last night.
Oh my...
So-
Jesus.
Oh,
It's okay.
boy, is
we
this
probably
why-
won't have really
this is
long
why you
discussions
go
on these last two.
huh?
Yeah. So I finished off Wolfenstein: The New Order this week. That game is surprisingly good. I think I really enjoyed that. Even though, like, most FPS games are kind of bad now, but this one, like, pleasantly surprising. If you still have like any, like, hold any value in like the big budget AAA shooters, then I would say the new Wolfenstein is worth it. Because it's probably like the best big budget AAA shooter we've had in a couple years, especially if you're just into campaign. Because the game doesn't have any multiplayer, probably because they just assume no one
0
will
out of
play
10.
it. But
0 out of 10. No multiplayer.
nah, man, this is like a
Yeah.
9 out of 10 game. It's like the campaign's so good. The characters are actually interesting. The guns are
I'll have
fucking
to
super
check it
fun to
out.
play with.
Yeah, I have to check it out still.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it, but not like I just never got around to trying it out because I'm broke.
Fair enough. I just like, of the 3 big games that came out last month, like Wolfenstein: The New Order, Transistor, and Watch Dogs, I played all
Still need to
3
beat
of them.
Transistor.
And if you could only play one of those 3 last month, and you chose not Wolfenstein, I think you made a big mistake. I think it's
I don't
better than
know.
Transistor, and I think it's way better than Watch Dogs. So it's like,
Yeah. That's obvious, but I don't know. Transistors.
as
Let's go.
someone who beat both of those, Transistor is a good game, but it's not as good as Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein was like a fucking legit game. It was like the best FPS campaign I played in like probably since the last Wolfenstein. So like 2009.
I haven't played any of those 3, but I've heard Watch Dogs was really disappointing, to say the least.
I heard it just didn't live up to the hype. I heard it's a good game. It just doesn't live up to the hype that like originally announced itself as.
I haven't even heard that it's a
Yeah.
good game. I've mostly just heard like it's average, like just okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's disappointing. And like as much of that as I played a couple hours of it like over the last week, and it was just, meh. I don't want to play it. It's
It's
like
forgettable.
bad GTA. So I was like, oh,
Shots fired.
it's
What
a
were you gonna say, Blue?
Oh, I don't fucking remember. I got a question though. What was your opinion on Grand Theft Auto 5, guys?
I think
So,
that I
getting
didn't
topical
play
now.
it.
did
I
anyone here play Grand
I
Theft Auto?
played it.
Are you sure, Joe?
Yes.
I think I didn't play it.
I
the-
will lock in my answer with yes.
You're like the only person who didn't play Grand Theft Auto 5 on the face of the planet then. That thing
Yes.
fucking sold.
Okay, Joe. All right, Joe. You and me are buddies in this situation, so we'll let Ryan and Blue talk
How
this
did you
out.
guys play that game? How didn't you play Grand Theft Auto 5
Because I'm
by
not
now?
into Grand Theft Auto.
That's
That's kind of the
that's
same with me.
understandable.
I haven't
Yeah.
been into Grand Theft Auto since like Vice City. And that's because I was 12
Shit.
and I liked shooting people and fucking hookers.
I fucking love Grand Theft Auto.
I'm not huge into it. I played it because like at the time I was writing for like a gaming news site, and I felt also Game of the Year podcast was like coming up, and I was like, well, I have to play it based on what everyone's saying. And then I played it. I was like, it's Grand Theft Auto. I'm not super in Grand Theft
You can
Auto.
golf in it.
Like, I would say it's the best Grand Theft Auto yet, but it's still Grand Theft
Mario.
Auto, and I'm just not super into Grand Theft Auto. Like,
Mario
the
Golf Theft
shooting
Auto.
is still not good in comparison to games that focus on shooting, and the driving is still not good in comparison to games that focus on driving, and
You're breaking my heart.
the online wasn't there at the time. Like,
You
I
killed
can
me.
see why that game's good. I don't think it's a bad game. I can see why people think it's great. Not for me.
Yeah, that's understandable, dude.
What'd you think of Grand Theft Auto 5 now, Blue? You've sparked my curiosity.
It was, in my opinion, good. I liked it. Since two people here have not played it, I don't want to like get mad into it. Fucking, did you
If
guys
you-
play Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't play the campaign though.
No.
I know how it ends.
Joe.
I
It's
played it.
okay,
I
but
played it for the multiplayer with my friends. I liked standing on top of a building and killing as many fucking cops as I could.
yeah, out of context as fuck. That's a weird
Yeah,
thing to say.
Yeah.
But
That will be quoted
But,
out of context for the rest of a lifetime.
I like shooting cops
Fantastic.
in Red Dead Redemption.
Sounds
Don't
fun.
cut out that part. That's important.
too late, Joe.
No.
Joe, if you didn't want that part to be left out, why is there that pause?
uh,
You
No
were
reason.
just asking for it. But now since I've criticized you for not playing the campaign, Joe, I haven't played Red Dead Redemption.
So,
But
what do we have for news this week?
yeah, I was
Ryan?
about to say, you guys want to jump
Yeah.
into some news?
Let's jump into some news. I want to dive into some news actually.
Alrighty then. So,
Be
they
careful,
announced
Joe.
this week The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is going to be released February 24th in 2015. They also showed the new trailer. Did you guys see that yet?
I didn't see the trailer, but I've played Witcher 2, so I'm actually kind of interested in that. So I might have to look more into it.
I'm
Witcher
super
2
hyped for Witcher 3 because it looks like they've basically taken Witcher 2, made it open world, and like basically up to the scale like 10 times.
That sounds rad because I haven't played an extensive amount of Witcher 2, but I did see a lot of gameplay because my friend was playing through it at the time. And it seemed like a really interesting game.
It's worth beating. If you have not, like, the end of that game does something that no other games like do, and so I don't want to spoil it, but so I won't. But like the end of that game, I was
So
just like
I'm
really
not going to.
yeah. So I'm
Oh,
not going to.
no.
But the end of that game was really impressive. I liked how they ended that game. It basically ends up with you making like a bunch of decisions that completely change the world, and that game
Well, it
like
seems to
isn't
be a lot of the game.
well, yeah. The decisions that you make at the end are like bigger, but the decisions that you
Much
make,
more significant.
yeah, while they're significant for the third game because they like do a lot to the politics of like the world. Because like the end of the game, there's like a big meeting of all of the kings and lords and like witches and sorcerers and shit. And so you have to like make a
Okay.
bunch of decisions with them, and it'll like completely shape how the third game plays out.
So, do you think they're going to do that like Dragon Age 2 did, where like you could load over your save if you have
Yeah,
one?
well, you can do that with Witcher 1 to Witcher 2, so
I didn't know. I played a very, very tiny amount of Witcher 1, and I just couldn't get into it that much.
Witcher
but
1's
Witcher 2
hard
seemed-
because it just
oh,
like wasn't there mechanically. It was that company's first game. They never made a game before that because what CD Projekt Red is actually it's the development arm of CD Projekt, but CD Projekt's background is localizing games and movies into Polish. Like that's what they did before they started making video games. And while they still do it, but like The Witcher 1 was a rough game because they didn't really have a lot of money. And so if you played that before they released the director's edition or the director's cut where they redid all of the voice work, then it was like not a good game.
yeah, I totally get that. I think like the loading saves over between games. It's an incredibly interesting feature that I wish more games did actually.
Well, I think it's really important in like these kind of story-based RPGs that like progress over multiple games, like Mass Effect, because like your decisions are important because you're trying to play the same character the whole way through.
Yeah, and it
So,
kind of rewards someone for like, I guess, being loyal to a game. You know,
yeah.
like hey, you stuck through this for like 3 games. We're gonna give you a little bit more for that. I don't know. That's my thought.
If you have access to Witcher 2 though, I really highly recommend like playing through it. They do the thing that I really like about their like decision making is that it's not black and white like it is in Mass Effect. Like it's all gray, and they're also willing to give like real consequences. They'll cut content based on your decisions, like huge amounts of it. Not like, oh, you don't get this side quest. It's like you don't get all of these main storyline quests. Instead, you get this one
You
over
just
here.
can't go to America anymore.
Basically,
America is a wasteland.
like your decision at the end of the first act of that game completely changes what you like. The whole second act, you do all different quests. Basically,
This is inspiring me to play it.
it's
Zoiney's been inspired.
I feel it burning in my heart now.
Live. in the Dapper Game.
but The Witcher 3 is basically looking like the game that we've wanted Bethesda to make out of Elder Scrolls forever, but also with like real meaningful choices because CD Projekt is willing to do that. Like the way that this game's apparently going to play out is that there's like 3 different main quest lines, and you can like start on one, but the world is always progressing, and so like the other 2 can progress to a point where you can't even get involved with them. So the game's like supposed to be played through at least twice in order to actually like experience all of the game, because they're willing to just like cut content in order to like increase immersion.
That's awesome. I love that. That sounds like a really unique idea. I don't know how unique it actually is, but compared to the
Well,
games I've played, that sounds like really unique.
I would say no one else like is willing to just cut content like that, because people generally like one of the ideas that people have about cutting content is that people paid for the content, so they should be able, everyone should be able to see it. And so like that's why WoW, for example, is like way easier to get into and everyone can raid now because you're paying $15 a month, so you're like, I guess they're obligated to give you that content, whereas before like you used to have to just level up your character and get the gear to do it. Not everyone could do it. And so especially like in these single player titles, like they try to give you all of the content and make it all accessible to you, but in like the Witcher games, they've chosen to not give you all of the content in a playthrough just because they think it makes a better story. And I think that makes those games like pretty unique and makes them like a much better role-playing game.
Sounds like a really fun experience. I'll have to play through Witcher 2 all the way now.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
Unrelated, Game Legends wants to know if anyone has beaten Jack and Daxter 2.
I have not, but I plan on doing it.
I haven't beat it, but I love Jack and Daxter.
Game Legends, I'm sorry for this, but neither have I.
I've played it, never beaten. Love that game. I need to beat it.
Jack 3.
I need to try out Jack 3.
Dude, Jack 3 is the shit.
I don't own a
Game Legends
PlayStation.
heart. Yeah, I never got into the PlayStation side of gaming when I was growing up, so...
Yeah, me neither. Like, I've always just played PC games, and so I've never really got too into it.
I was a Nintendo fanboy.
Pretty much the same here.
I've been sounding like a Nintendo fanboy as of late because I have a Wii U and I actually like the thing, but everyone's like, "Oh, that's just because you're a Nintendo fanboy." I was like, "This is my first Nintendo."
You enjoy
console.
something from Nintendo, you fanboy.
Yeah, and I'm like, "This is my first Nintendo console. I'm sorry that it has exclusives I actually like because it's got Monster Hunter, so that's why I bought it." I was like, I need Monster Hunter," so I just dropped
You
like
Monster
$400
Hunter
for Monster Hunter.
fanboy.
Yeah, I'll admit I am a Monster Hunter fanboy. That game's fucking perfect.
I'm sure after you're done playing that game, you'll go pray to Shigeru Miyamoto, you fanboy.
Shiggy.
But he didn't make it.
It's like, you know,
It's a Capcom franchise.
You might call him Shigeru, but I call him Shiggy because we're friends.
We're close.
Shiggy Wiggy Maniggy. Ooh, that sounded
Shiggy.
bad. I ended that badly.
Shiggy Maniggy.
All right. I'm glad that I haven't said the worst thing on this podcast now.
That was an accident. I didn't think that would sound so bad.
On that note, welcome to the stream, Pete 9111. You picked a great time to join.
I've heard a lot of awesome things about Monster Hunter, though.
It's amazing. You should most definitely play it. But
Does everyone in here have a 3DS?
I do.
no, have a Wii U.
Nintendo fanboy.
I know.
For the win.
Well, the three of us with 3DSs, aka the three of us that have made the correct choices, should get Monster Hunter.
In
Play
life.
Well, okay, I tried the demo for Monster Hunter. I heard you have to have that little add-on for the right joystick. Otherwise, it doesn't really.
You kind of
right.
want it. Otherwise, it doesn't really play
the
right.
Camera's like a pain in the ass. I tried the demo and it was all right.
The demo is a bad. Okay, so here's what's wrong with the demo. I've explained this to a bunch of different people who are, like, have Wii U's, and like, I just played the demo. It wasn't very good. I was like, well, it's because that's like 30 minutes of a 10-hour tutorial, so it's kind of fucked up. Because like the first 10 hours of that game is a tutorial basically that teaches you how to fight smaller monsters and like harvest them to make equipment, and then how to like mine and how to harvest like plants and stuff and make potions and craft and do all of that stuff. And instead, for the demo, they're like, fight this one thing, and then like haven't taught you anything yet, and so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because like that demo is like 6 hours into the fucking like 8 to 10 hour tutorial. Because the single player for that game is basically a tutorial for the multiplayer.
Okay. So when you say there's like a 10-hour tutorial, and I don't mean to sound like condescending at all, but you're not exaggerating at all?
No.
It's legitimately a 10-hour. Holy crap, man.
It's basically to teach you how to play that game.
10 hours long.
And I've never heard anyone complain about a 10-hour tutorial in that game.
There's a few people who do. Like, do you know Yahtzee, like the Escapist?
Yeah.
He hates Monster Hunter because he's like, the first 10 hours are like tutorial and it's bullshit, and I can only really, like, if I'm doing a review, I only have about 10 hours of fucking time to do it. It's why like a lot of people didn't review the new Monster Hunter that came out. Like Polygon did a review, and they're like, the reviewer of this game played it for 60 hours to like before writing this review. He has not beat it yet because like the game's fucking long.
Christ's sake.
I played it for 400 hours to beat it my first time through, like the Wii U version. It's just fucking long.
Nintendo.
Because there's like 72 large monsters, and to kill some of them, like you need to grind gear to get some of it. So you have to grind these large monsters that you've killed before in order to like gather their body parts and make new weapons and shit.
Yeah.
Would you say it felt like a grind? Like, was it kind of that like, oh, I just got to kill 40 more of these?
Well,
was
it's
it
not
actually,
like
like,
kill
an
40
easy
more.
all
It's
the way
like
through?
kill 4 more of these, and it's
Okay.
kind of easy to like find them, because what happens is like you're in a town and you're like, I want to do this quest, and the quest is like kill this monster, and then you leave town and then the monster's there and you have to kill it. Like you kind of have to look around for it, but on these kind of smaller condensed maps.
All right.
Every
I haven't
fight
seen
in that
any
game
Monster Hunter
though,
stuff, so
every fight in that
Go ahead.
game feels like an epic boss battle is the thing. So like they're pretty fun.
yeah,
I like that game mechanically. If you like Dark Souls, you'll like Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is basically like a harder version of that, but does a better job kind of like teaching you how to play it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say Dark Souls does that bad of a job. So nice.
Just imagine
I
what
just
a
haven't
better
seen-
version could be.
I just haven't seen literally anything about Monster Hunter.
Monster
So,
Hunters. Gotta
Monster
catch them
Hunters.
all.
But so I literally just like I don't know what. That's why I'm asking like weird questions. Maybe
Yeah,
that makes sense.
if you have a 3DS, I wouldn't get Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate for it because like it plays kind of weird and it doesn't have online play. It only has like local network play. So like yeah, like you can only play multiplayer
Oh.
with people who are like there with you. The Wii U version has online, but Monster Hunter 4 comes out at the beginning of next year for 3DS, and that will have online play. So
I heard that was not going to have the underwater like fights, because I heard no one likes those.
I don't
I've
think Monster Hunter
Never
4
played
will.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. It seemed like no one liked them from what I've heard.
I like them. They're just hard as shit. You have to have the lance. The underwater fights are easier
Yeah,
if you have
but-
the lance, because then you can like.
But you like the
Charge
Wii
them.
U.
Yeah, I know.
God damn it, Zoiney.
Fucking speaking of no online play, I'm still mad about Mario Party for the 3DS not having online play.
How does that game
is
not have online play? That's
enraging.
fucked up.
It pisses me off. It's got local, but it doesn't
That's-
have online.
It was
Then
a dumb
what-
idea.
It was retarded releasing that game on 3DS. They're like, we're releasing Mario Party on 3DS. I was like, why are they doing that? Like, then you need like 8
I would've
fucking
been
3DSs.
So sick online, like,
Yeah.
but I could see a little bit on why they wouldn't, because that's like Mario Party. That's a long session, and of course, if you're playing against Randy's, like they're
They'll
gonna
just leave.
disconnect out of nowhere, and it's gonna suck. But if you're playing with friends, at least give us the option, you know?
Yeah, like, do people? From what I've experienced with Nintendo's games, though, online since the original Nintendo DS days, is that it was never an enjoyable experience to play a Nintendo game with the Randys.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The online on the Wii U
They're
is a
pretty
lot
much
better.
games that you play with your friends.
Like, I don't mind playing the online stuff for the Wii U, but that's just because the connection's good. And, like, doing it's a lot simpler than it was on the Wii and the DS.
Is it?
Yeah, everyone just has, like, names now for their account, and you add them as a friend. And, like, if you want to play
They
a multiplayer
finally
game...
don't have friend codes?
Yeah, they don't have friend
3DS,
codes.
3DS doesn't
unfortunately,
have
still
friend codes
has that.
anymore, too.
Well, the old
What?
3DS stuff has friend codes. The new 3DS stuff
Wait
doesn't.
a minute.
Yeah, they
As
changed that.
someone with a 3DS, how did that just happen?
That happened
They-
months
they
ago.
Yeah, they switched it when the Wii U switched to it.
No, the
Well,
Wii
they
U was
switched it a
always
little
that.
bit
They did it
after.
like, man, not even a little bit out after, a year after. The Wii U
'Cause
never
that
had
friend
friend codes.
That friend code shit is gay.
It's when
Like-
it's when they moved over Miiverse to 3DS.
Yeah.
Dude, hang on, I'm turning on my 3DS.
There's
gotta
no more
see
friend
this. This is
codes.
incredible.
There hasn't been for like 4 or 5 months now.
How did I not notice this? I still play this thing.
But Nintendo like figured out how to do online, I guess. Which is kind of nice. So
Oh, they finally figured out that you don't want a different 16-digit username for every single game that you play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kids
Who would have thought?
want that even more than we don't want it.
but
Like that is the most kid-friendly system, and they have that shit.
yeah, especially because inputting on the Wii was fucking dumb. Like,
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. Did anyone
Click. Oh, wrong one.
One thing that
it's the backspace.
made the Wii so much more survivable is I think you could actually plug in a USB keyboard and it would recognize it. Because I remember that's just what I did. I was just like, I'm not using this.
You can't do that with the Xbox or like PlayStation.
you can't do it with the
It's-
Xbox. You can do it with the PlayStation 3.
I can tell you why you couldn't do it on the Xbox. Because they
wanted you
had
to buy
a
the fucking pack.
Yeah.
Joe,
Oh.
as someone who bought the pad, that's exactly why I did it actually. I hate typing in things on like consoles.
I dealt with it instead of spending more money.
I'm really curious to see how like you add someone without a friend code now. That's like because I still see it there.
You
I
add
still got
them.
my
They have to set up their Nintendo Wi-Fi account or whatever it's called. It's basically like you designate a me to be like your online me, and then people can like add them by their name.
so okay. Here's a kind of a more
So
personal
I'm
question.
Batman.
Does that connect between 3DS and Wii U? Like, is it the
Yeah.
same thing?
It works on both of them.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
So you
good.
have one
Because
online account for both of them.
I was in like a Mario Kart stream the other day, and someone said that they added me on Wii U. So I was just like, oh well, I guess someone took my name there, huh?
No,
But,
it's-
no, that was me. I just don't have the system now.
yeah, it's on both of them.
All right. So everyone with a Wii U, you should add me on Wii U. I don't have a Wii U, but you can add me on there now.
Well, it's just because it's all Miiverse stuff, so like you can send messages to each other across the systems and shit like that. Like it's all one piece of software basically.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice that
was,
they actually
like-
kind of like figured that shit out.
I don't. Yeah, Nintendo's definitely been slower on picking up on the whole like play games online with people, but it seems like they're definitely getting better at it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
they're catching up.
Now they just need to get
And it's
fucking
just in
voice
time
chat down.
too, because now I think they're like the only one of the big three that doesn't require you to pay to play online.
They are the only one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's any other like shifty underground console that I haven't heard of that's been like developed by like John.
Oh yeah.
So
What about the oh
But-
yeah? Oh you? Oh yeah?
Ooh yeah.
The oh yeah.
that's a good emulator.
That they
But-
killed themselves the other month when they like said, "Oh yeah, we're porting the Ouya software to a bunch of other Android stuff," and it's like, great, you have no purpose for existing anymore.
I like to imagine that they're like Canadian or something with this accent. Like they're like, oh yeah, we're putting the Ouya.
Ouya.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What? That's like Luigi's voice, huh? Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So let's try to cover up this Nintendo news. We'll try to wrap that up because there's a
Oh,
couple
is this
more.
new news?
There's more news.
I thought we were still talking about Witcher 3.
Oh, are we? Whatever.
No.
There's more news. So Nintendo is rumored to reveal a Mario Maker game at E3, like in the next
Mario
week.
Maker.
Yeah, it's called Mario Maker because there's like a poster for it, and it shows someone with a stylus like dropping sprites and shit on a map to like make a Mario level.
So it's like RPG Maker, but for Mario.
Like a side-scrolling Mario, and you just create your own levels and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
Or
it
like
looks like the old
3D
school
Land.
Mario. No, it looks like Super Mario Brothers and They're like
That's
placing
sick.
sprites and stuff on the map, and like
That's
blocks and
incredibly
shit.
smart of them.
That sounds fun. Because of course you can
One
link up
game.
and share it.
One game that did really well, more so than the actual game, from just content like actual players made, was like Little Big Planet. That game was great even after you beat it because there was just so many levels you could play that other people made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
People made some cool things too.
Yeah, people are creative.
at this point, I feel like Mario games come out almost too frequently and they're like so much the same thing that it would be cool just to like make your own levels and then just buy the game and like be done for the generation. Like, please, no more 2D Mario games or like side-scrolling Mario games. We're done. Like, we've got all of them now.
Is Mario Maker, this game you're talking about, is that for 3DS and Wii U or just one of them?
It's unannounced. Like they're gonna talk about it at E3. It looks like because someone like took a picture of Nintendo's like E3 area, their like display area, and there's a Mario Maker poster there or like big sign, but no one actually knows what this is. Like Nintendo hasn't talked about it.
Let's just hope then.
Mario Paint sequel? Maybe.
Mario is missing 2.
Luigi's Mansion 3?
Now that's not something I would object to, honestly.
Sunshine 2?
It would be nice if they would
Sunshine
release
2.
those on Wii U, just so I had stuff to play. I wish they fucking released Luigi's Mansion on Wii U.
Like, that sounded like such genuine sadness.
A lot of the games on 3DS I want to play, but I don't have the money to like buy a 3DS to play fucking like Luigi's Mansion and like Fire Emblem. Like, just fucking.
It honestly sounds like you were the target audience of the 2DS.
Yeah, but I don't have the money for 2DS either. Like, I can't drop like $150 or $300 on something just to play 2 games.
Nah, I get you, man. That's
unless those games are Monster Hunter.
Because those I know I'd be getting my money for.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I meant to say.
Well, then when Monster Hunter 4 comes out...
No, I'm gonna wait for a console release because I can't hold the 3DS right. It fucks up with my one thumb.
What about if there's no console release?
I'll just be really upset.
I'm never gonna play a game again.
No, the way that Monster Hunter works is it's kind of like Pokemon where they release it in generations. So the reason why it's Monster Hunter 4, even though there's like fucking 15 Monster Hunter games, is that it's the 4th generation of monsters in Monster Hunter. So they'll release like Monster Hunter Frontier or some bullshit, or like Monster Hunter 4 Frontier, and I'll be able to play that. Like, there's always a console version because there's always
Monster
a
Hunter
bullshit
4
online
Ultimate.
pay MMO version that is like the exact same game. So
I feel like that was just begging for a segue. But what's your guys' thoughts on the new Pokemon remake?
Omega
That's not
and Alpha.
really new use. Yeah, the Ruby and Sapphire remakes.
I think it's cool. I haven't played Pokemon since Silver.
Shit.
Yeah, so
Jesus Christ, Joe!
Damn,
it's
man.
been a
Why?
while. I don't know. I just lost
not
interest. I just lost interest in it after Silver.
Oh, that's understandable, man.
Everyone in the chat should judge Joe because he's been playing that bad Rayman game over Pokemon, apparently.
Haven't lost the love for Rayman. But Pokemon?
Fucking Pokemon. Rayman 3's where it's at.
No, but I could totally see losing interest in Pokemon for a while. And
Yeah.
I'd say now is probably the best time to get back into it.
Yeah, with X and Y.
XY was amazing, man.
X and Y, yeah, because I took a break for a few generations on Pokemon, and I came back to X and Y, and it felt great. Like, it was the first time in a long while that I had like a new experience with a Pokemon game, and it was really neat.
Yeah.
don't
The
know,
game
I'm not
looked
a big-
awesome.
I'm not a big RPG guy, so it's like...
Yeah, it's understandable.
I'm more of a Rayman guy, if you know what I'm saying.
Primary Rayman guy.
All I play. My MLG
Favorite genre,
Pro,
Rayman.
I actually haven't played Rayman Origins.
I haven't played a Rayman game since I was looking.
I
I
haven't played
haven't
Origins.
played a
or
Rayman
Legends.
game.
Game Legend says Rayman 3 is a good game. Whoever said that, that's me saying it's not a good game. I love that game as a kid, but I recently went back to it, and it's still fun. It's just the mechanics are really bad. You can't lock onto anything, and nothing wants to work half the time, and a lot of the things are tedious.
I want to emphasize, though, that Joe told me to punch myself in the wiener to ease my stress.
And you still haven't done it, so you must be pretty stressful.
You don't know that.
uh,
But,
Zoiney, your voice reminds me of Guitar Master X7.
that's pretty relieving to hear, honestly. Thought that was going in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
So this is nice.
It went in a pretty good direction for you.
But I'm looking forward to the remakes. Dude, Generation 3 was my shit. I fucking love, like, Ruby, dude. I love that game. I'm gonna get the remakes. Confirmed.
Actually, I did play Emerald a little bit with a friend, but I never beat it.
So you lied to us, Joe.
I also played Emerald like 9 years after it came out because my friend was like, let's emulate a Pokemon game and play it. I was like, oh, why the fuck not?
Ugh.
Joe, you said you hadn't played since Silver. You liar.
Also, I play Pokemon Snap all the time, but I don't think that counts.
You
I
liar.
love Pokemon Snap.
Why is there no Wii U Pokemon Snap?
Dude,
Joe,
they
what
should
the
make
fuck?
that and make it like a $10 game. The fact that they haven't done that is retarded.
I know.
Pokemon
You
Snap.
could use the fucking Wii Pad as the camera.
It's like
Pokemon Stadium.
I mean,
they should just rename the Wii U into the Pokemon Snap Machine because that's like exactly what it was made for. It seems like.
dude, okay, here's what they should do. They should make a Pokemon Stadium game that has a Pokemon Snap mini game, like, in it, that is just Pokemon Snap. Because let's face it, Pokemon Snap is not a fucking $60 title, so fuck that shit. But,
Yeah.
like, just make it part of, like, a Pokemon Stadium game and release it for Wii U, because now there's fucking proper online for it, so
No
What if
longer
it would be
did
not
Pokemon
shit
Snap
like the Wii
Orion.
version.
What if they did make it like a $60 game, though? What
Then
if it was
I
like
wouldn't
an
buy it.
open
I would be
world-
so
what if-
pissed. I'd be like, you fucking retards. Like, this
No,
is
what
not a
if it was,
$60
like-
game.
What if it was like an open world adventure game where there's just fucking Pokemon all over the world and you have to venture through the world and find the Pokemon? What if it was like an open world adventure, kind of like Skyrim?
Only if you
I had
kind
this
of have to
Pokemon set.
fight the Pokemon because they attack you and shit and they're wild animals.
Just
No,
shoot
you just
the
have to
Pokemon.
run.
Just running back.
It's a survival horror game now.
Oh my God.
It's nighttime. Where's that Growlithe?
Oh my God, like, make the most gruesome shit. Like, we're gonna have to skin this Cyndaquil.
I need meat.
Oh my God. No! But, like, I had this idea for a Pokemon Snap thing. Have you guys ever played Nintendogs?
No.
Yes.
Okay, Joe.
Ain't
you
no
remember
love
how-
for Nintendogs either, huh?
In Nintendogs, when you walk your dog, there's like a huge city and you have to draw the route that you're gonna take. I thought it would be sick as fuck if, like, there were like 8 maps in Pokemon Snap, like if they made a sequel and they were huge, and you draw the route you're gonna take, so you can replay the map like 6 or 7 times, going different routes, and there's different Pokemon in each path you take. But you can only go so far. You can't fucking color in the entire route.
So just say, what if I
Just
fucking
scribble
took
over the
every-
entire
Just be
map.
a jackass. And like the further you go in the game, the more like gas you can get or some bullshit. Like, it's
Just
Pokemon.
imagine
They come
someone
up with an
drawing a
excuse.
fucking dick on the screen. Being like, this is the route. This is
Like-
the route I'm taking.
That, like, imagine
Sure.
how good it would look. Like
That'd
Pokemon
be-
Snap.
I think that'd be
showed off
really
how-
cool.
Yeah.
And like Pokemon Snap, the original one, seemed to show off like how good the N64's graphics were, and it still looks pretty cool. Albeit, I mean, pretty cool for an N64 game. Imagine what they could do with the Wii U.
Oh my god, it looks so fucking beautiful.
It would be awesome. They could have done it for the GameCube and it looked awesome. You know, games like Super Mario Sunshine was out at the time. I don't know why I said super. It works.
because it is pretty super.
Everyone likes to give Mario Sunshine flack, but I think it's hard
I
to
like
say that
Mario
that game looks
Sunshine.
bad now. I loved it, but that's a good-looking game even still. Like,
Yeah,
Luigi's Mansion, I think, is a really
A lot
good
of-
looking game.
a lot of
Yeah.
games still hold up when it comes to graphics.
Well, one of the things
like
about the
it.
Because the
GameCube that
GameCube-
people like don't bother to realize is that the game. So the reason why Nintendo doesn't do like these big powerhouse machines anymore is that the GameCube was actually like the most powerful of that generation, and fucking just failed. They're like, there's no way that we can just spend like we can't lose money selling these consoles and like do all this R&D to build these powerhouse machines that just don't make
it's like-
money potentially. Like it's too
Yeah.
expensive.
Nintendo has this way of just like using their art style to actually make a game look pretty rather than like post-processing effects. Like the strongest example is Wind Waker. That's a
Wind
game
Waker,
that
yeah.
still looks really nice for how much it's aged, and it's not a graphically intensive game. It's just a really unique art style. You
And
know,
it didn't need an HD remake.
it definitely didn't. That's one of my. That's
Fucking
probably my
bullshit.
favorite Zelda game, and I hate the fact that they remade it.
Well,
Yeah, I do too.
That's another story.
I want my
on the
Majora's
topic
Mask.
of the remake, we'll be giving away the remake during next week's podcast, probably. So,
Yeah, who wants free Wind Waker?
yeah, so we'll be
I'll
giving
be
that
sure
away
to
for the
enter.
Wii U.
Can you also give away a Wii U in that so I can?
No, see, I bought
Maybe
Mario
play it.
Kart, but I owned all of the games that they give you,
Oh,
so I'm
no,
just
that's
giving
cool.
away
Though. That's
one.
really neat.
I was about to
It's
say, if
like-
you're gonna give away a fucking Wii U, you better be giving it to me.
Speaking of remakes, we're going to be giving away Mercedes Benz.
Who
I have
wants
to
it?
remember to announce the winner of Witcher 2 for this week because we gave that away for last
Oh,
week's
do you
podcast.
frequently do giveaways?
Not super
Oh.
frequently. It's just like Witcher
Just
2
when you
was on
can.
sale on Steam, and I was like, I have more than enough in my Steam wallet to buy this, and nothing on Steam I want to buy. I'll buy this because Witcher 2 was like $3, so
That's pretty
because
sick.
that
That's
shit
really
goes
cool,
on
dude.
sale all the time. So I was like, we'll just give this away. Why not?
No, that's really cool because it totally gives more people the opportunity just to play games that were maybe out of their price bracket at the time.
Yeah.
As someone who has like 100+ games in my Steam library and has actually bought very few of them, I'm really grateful because a lot of people have just given me the chance to like play games that I wouldn't have played otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like 500 games due to Ryan and my other friend Ryan.
Basically, give me games on Steam.
Well, I didn't give
Exactly.
Joe games. Is that they have like that Steam sharing now? So I shared
that's
my library
That's
with
a great
him.
feature.
I actually only own 100 somewhat games, but now because of those two, I actually have 500 games in my library.
I
There
had
must
a
be a lot
friend
of
who shared
overlap
their
between
library
me
with
and the
me.
other guy then, because I own
There
500
might be.
games.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had like 800+ games I didn't have share their library with me, and oh boy, that was overwhelming, honestly.
Yeah, it's like too many games at some point. So let's
I
try
had to
to.
minimize their thing to go to my games.
Like scrolling through 500 games. I don't know what to play.
I don't even own any of these.
So let's try to
I
move
guess
on to
the-
these last couple pieces of news, and then we'll get on to questions and bullshit
Yeah, news.
until we want to end the podcast.
Yeah, we've been really dragging on the news. Still talking about Witcher 3.
Holy
No,
shit.
man, Nintendo Maker or Mario Maker.
Mario
whatever.
Maker. Yeah.
Mario Maker.
So this week, a rumor started going around that I'm disappointed isn't true, just so I could throw it in Joe's face and be like,
I
"Ha!"
want fucking.
But The
Oh, I
Last
know
Guardian
what you're talking-
is still being made. It won't be at E3 probably,
Joe.
but
I saw that announcement that it was canceled, and I cried for 10 minutes until Sony announced that it wasn't canceled. And then I went back to my shrine and I continued praying until the game came out.
Can we all just take a moment of silence to just like disrespect Joe
Sure.
on being wrong?
I want an
Okay, that was
Ico
good. That
game
was great.
so bad. There hasn't been one since Shadow of the Colossus, and I want it. I want it now. I
so
want an E3 announcement tomorrow. Sony press conference.
If it's not announced tomorrow, unsubscribe.
it's
unsubscribe
not
from
gonna
E3.
be at E3. I'll be of all of the games that could be at E3. I'm pretty confident this one won't be there. I'm still...
Yeah.
So, IGN basically being the fucking masters of gaming news, because they never report anything that's true,
I'm feeling a little bit of sarcasm right now, Ryan.
have reported that The Last Guardian was finally canceled yesterday, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Through a
I saw some of that.
PR meeting or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah,
I
so
saw
like,
a little bit of that stuff on Twitter.
yeah, IGN like announced that it's canceled, and then one of the people who actually work at ICO like basically tweeted that it's not canceled.
Yeah. They're like, I laugh at this tweet over dinner. The Last Guardian is still in the works.
That's great. So that's like a continuation of Shadow of the Colossus?
No,
I don't.
completely
Or
different
something
game,
similar to that?
but it's
But
made
same
by the
developers?
same developers that made Shadow of the
All right,
Colossus.
yeah.
See,
Because I
here's
didn't
the
play Shadow of
thing.
the Colossus.
Well,
So-
you need to fucking do that right now.
Joe.
Right now.
Joe, come on,
Right
Joe, we're
now.
live.
Right
Joe,
now.
we're live. Don't do this.
I'm doing it right now.
Joe,
Joe,
not on the
not-
stream.
Not in front of everyone.
So, I'm pretty confident that The Last Guardian is just never going to come out, and I don't even care about that game anymore, and I don't understand why people do, because that game's been in development for over 8 years. It was fucking announced, like, before the PS3 came out, and was supposed to be released for the PS3, and never managed to come out. So it's like, this thing's just not going to happen, and I think everyone should just stop paying attention to it. Because
Well,
it's...
But what about Half-Life 3, Ryan?
It's going to happen.
Well,
Half-Life.
no one really actually cares about Half-Life 3. They just make the joke because the
Yeah,
epic
Now, let's
meme
not
is.
say anything we're going to regret.
Here's the deal. I would play a Half-Life 3. I don't care if it comes out. Like, I think
No,
it would
I'm
be
totally in the
like,
same boat. Yeah.
yeah, because it's like it'll come
I'd
out when
be
it comes
kind
out.
of-
But like, this is a game made by a developer who hasn't made a game in over 8 years because they've been working on this one. Who even knows who's at that studio anymore? I bet like none of the talent who actually made that studio have stayed that long working on a project that is essentially vaporware at this point, even if Sony continuously says that it's coming out.
I'd like to take the time to say if there's anyone who works at that studio who happens to be in the chat, we're really sorry.
They could always refute me.
Strex.
Please subscribe if you work from that studio.
Yeah, please do.
But speaking of games that need continuations, I'm really sad that the studio that made Darksiders 1 and 2 might not exist anymore. There's rumors that they were bought. I don't know really the
Isn't that
facts, but
Wasn't that THQ?
yeah, I think it's THQ.
Vigil owned.
Or Vigil.
Vigil was owned by THQ. Vigil got bought by Crytek. They're making a game.
I hope that
They're
game is
Crytek
Darksiders 3,
Austin.
because
It's not. Darksiders is owned by a different company called Nordic, and they're making a Darksiders 3 game.
Yeah.
And
Can
I
they
think
make-
one of the creative leads on Darksiders 2 is at Nordic now. And they're making a
right,
Darksiders 3
awesome.
game. They're like in pre-production.
Okay, because that's like a series that's like, it started out a little rough. I heard Darksiders 2 was a lot better than Darksiders 1. I haven't
It
played it yet.
is.
It's
much
great.
better.
But I enjoyed the first one a lot, and it
did.
just seemed like it had a lot of potential.
It's basically it's a Dark Zelda game with better combat, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly good with that. Like, I think that Darksiders
Anyone,
kind of out Zelda's Zelda. I like it a lot more. So
If there are any Zelda fans in the chat, we are sorry.
I like Zelda
Yeah,
more than
whatever.
Darksiders, but I definitely enjoy Darksiders a lot.
well, like I like the mood and
It-
stuff of Zelda. I just think mechanically, if you're like looking at those games, I think Darksiders does what Zelda does better, like from a gameplay
Mechanically,
standpoint. But
if
it
you
like
compare them
story, it's not
mechanically,
there.
Zelda is pretty much Pong, and Darksiders is essentially Monster Hunter 4.
Basically,
Don't know if that's true, but okay.
That's a proven fact.
We are sorry, any viewers that might like video games that just heard that.
But
But
are we on the last segment of news yet, or are we still talking about
there's
Witcher 3?
one more piece of news. So, when the so Dead Rising 3 has been confirmed to be a PC release this summer, which
nice.
goes against everything Microsoft and Capcom said about it always being an exclusive for Xbox One.
Xbox not doing too hot.
Go Capcom.
Well, it's that there's a new head of gaming for Microsoft, and they like seem to be trying to reaffirm their position on PC gaming, and so like in this last week or so, they've announced a lot of titles that are going to come to PC that were supposed to be Xbox One exclusives. Like Fable Anniversary is coming to PC, Dead Rising 3 is coming to PC. It just seems like they're trying to like regain that audience, basically.
Halo 5's coming to PC.
Oh, that would be fucking...
Is it?
No, it's not. They have not said that.
I
but...
know. If they
But
did,
oh boy.
Halo.
If they did, I'd be happy because then I wouldn't have to buy an Xbox One.
Yeah,
Or then
I
would
feel like...
actually get to play the game.
No one would buy an Xbox One though.
Yeah, I feel like that game of all of them, like it's the
Yeah.
only franchise that Microsoft has for the Xbox, and they're like, yeah, let's
Yep.
release it on PC. No one fucking is gonna buy an Xbox. My friend bought an Xbox One just because he's like, I'm gonna buy it eventually because I'm gonna get it for Halo anyways, and I know he would be so pissed. He'd be like, I never fucking had to buy this thing. God damn it.
Yeah. The only reason I would buy an Xbox One is for the Halo trilogy being re-released and for Halo 5.
They're re-releasing them all. See, I don't keep up.
They're
with gaming.
re-releasing
There was,
all of the named ones.
All
this
the
year,
named ones.
or all the numbered ones. All the
There
numbered
you
ones
go.
are coming out.
Okay,
on
I was about to be
Xbox
like,
One.
so Halo Reach and ODST.
No, sorry.
And Wars.
They're releasing like an HD remake of Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Xbox
Dude.
One.
They should make a more complicated version of Halo Wars for the PC.
No.
The sequel. The game was awesome.
No.
That's like
No,
the
it
one
wasn't.
Halo game I don't think I've played actually.
I've played them all.
I played a bit of it once. I didn't buy it. My friend had it. Well, my friend rented it, and he was like, hey, check out how bad this game is. And I was like, okay. Terrible.
I don't know though. Before when I played Reach, if you told me like there's an new Xbox coming out and that's what Halo's gonna be on, I would have bought it because I really liked Reach. I think Reach was somewhat a step in the right direction for Halo, but after playing Halo 4, there's no chance of me buying a console for Halo 5.
As someone who plays Halo competitively, I think Halo Reach was a step in the wrong direction and it killed it in the competitive standpoint. I think Halo 4 was a step in the right direction.
I
Halo's
played Halo
just
competitively
bad
too,
Quake.
so I'm actually really interested to hear.
As someone who doesn't like Quake, I don't agree with you.
Well, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
It's just simple Quake.
Do we have time for me and Joe to get into this about why Halo 4 is worse?
Sure, go ahead. We've got plenty of time. That was the end of the news, and there's only one question to ask you. So,
Zoiney.
Oh boy.
What are you gonna get into?
Basically, I think Halo's always been more about like the competitive shooter that's like map control based. And I
Yeah,
feel like Halo 4 really took that away because now you get ordnance drops that you can just choose where they drop. So it's like, why is the map even important when you can just call down something wherever you happen to be?
in competitive
sense of-
play, ordnance drops aren't a thing.
Okay.
Well, actually, they are, but they're not as crazy as they are in matchmaking. In competitive play, they only drop. They drop. Oh shit! What do they drop? They drop the little jet boost thing that lets you boost left and right.
so they
and
drop like your
basically-
armor abilities, right?
Yeah, they dropped like a bunch of like really shitty armor abilities that could help you a little bit. But like they didn't drop like fucking rocket launchers and shit like that, or like the beam rifle or whatever the hell it was called.
Even so,
the
though,
Forerunner sniper.
The bullshit sniper, pretty much,
Yeah,
is what it was called.
the one shot if I shoot you in the toe sniper.
So it's basically combat arms.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
one.
joke that a lot of people might not get.
Yeah, I know
No
that.
regrets.
I know what game you're talking about.
But
I know what game you're talking about, but I was thinking the op in Counter Strike.
There was a sniper in combat arms that would kill you if you got shot in the foot with it. It was
the
ridiculous.
op does that in Counter Strike.
I think it was
Oh,
the. I think
Actually,
was the
it doesn't. If you
AWM.
have body armor, it only puts you down to 1 or 2 health, depending on like how far up your foot he shot you. If he shoots you in the leg,
Oh.
you're dead. But if he shoots you in the
Well, like,
foot,
yeah,
you have
man.
like 1 health left.
The Achilles tendon is a vital organ, don't you know?
It was the.
Oh, well, I'm talking more
AWM.
like toe. To be fair,
That's also vital.
it's a
Like, you
50
couldn't
caliber
stand
sniper
without your big
rifle.
toe.
If you got shot in the foot, like it would just take off your whole foot. So
Yeah, that includes the Achilles tendon, so it makes
Yeah.
sense.
But yeah.
But
to get to
was-
the point, Halo 4 mechanically felt better. It was faster. The jump speed and the running speed were much better. The sprinting ability didn't affect the game as much. Halo Reach, the sprint ability totally ruined the game. The blue mechanic also ruined competitive play. It made pretty much Halo a random number generator. When
I'll
it
agree
came
with
to
the
close,
blue mechanic.
When it came to close quarters combat, Reach just in general, Reach was a game for casual players. It wasn't a good game competitively, and Halo 4 it was fun competitively. But at the time, Halo had already been dead because of Reach, so no one really wanted to give it a chance and or play it. A lot of the competitive players also didn't like Halo 4. Halo's kind of been dead since Halo 3.
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying. This is probably gonna. If you're a Halo fan and you're in the chat, sorry, but I think it's just kind of like we got to milk this franchise a little more. We can still make money.
Yeah, pretty much.
Halo could have stopped at 3 easily.
Yeah, it definitely could have, and I'm kind of sad that it didn't. I would have loved it. And it's cool. I like seeing how much Halo 3 is still stuck out. Because you can literally probably right now, go to Twitch, go to the live games,
And there's still like Halo 3 pretty far up there.
is still always pretty far up there. It's usually because a pro's playing it and he pulls in like 500 to 1,000 views, or there's a couple pros playing it, but like Halo's usually still up there, which is surprising that Halo 3 is still up there. It's nice to see.
I guess my problem with Halo 4 is that it kind of seemed like it took a step in the Call of Duty direction. You had loadouts,
Yeah.
and
Well, Halo
there was
Reach
still
had loadouts.
ordnance. But they weren't like loadouts you could set up. It was just like you get the same guns and everything. You just choose your armor ability. So it's kind of arguable. Like they weren't loadouts. It was just choosing your one ability.
Yeah.
There was definitely balancing issues though. Jetpack.
Yeah, the jetpack was definitely broken.
It broke the map control essence, but besides that,
same with Halo Reach was horrible for armor abilities, especially with fucking armor lock. That had to have been...
don't be that guy.
How am I not that guy? Armor lock. Oh, what do you mean? Are you saying armor lock was a good thing? You tell me.
You just don't run up to him.
Are you? Yes, because when I get a guy one shot and then he goes into armor lock and the 3 other people on his team comes up and pushes me because he called me out, I probably should have gotten that kill. I'm still calling bullshit. I don't care. It is. Armor lock was a horrible idea.
All right, to keep this from getting too heated, I think we can close this discussion. Joe,
Zoiney's got a question that he has to answer, because I know the question. I want the answer.
What question?
So,
don't do it.
I got an email
Don't do this,
question.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That,
Oh, okay.
That email question.
Oh,
Don't
did
do
you
this,
email
Joe.
this to me?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I was like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense. So, Joey Howard emailed me. He has a question for you, Zoiney. And then I've got a question for you after, and Royal. You can both answer this one. But I have a question for Zoiney. Are you going to make more videos? If yes, why did you stop for so long? I already know the answer to this, because you said this earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna make more. There's been a big gap, and I'm sorry about that. I've been really caught up in other things lately, so I don't want to exactly say why it's been so long, but just personal things.
Fair enough.
He's been jerking off too much.
Joe, don't do this to me. We're live.
I can't cut things. I can, but I'm lazy. I won't. Then I have to actually edit it. It takes me 5 minutes to edit the podcast if I don't have to cut anything, Joe. Don't do this to me.
Oh,
Yeah, fuck
fine.
that.
Fine. I don't know what I did, but
So I guess you can extend this question also to Royal, because I mean, like, I was looking around for guests, because I always do, and like I looked at both your channels, and one of the reasons like I didn't message you guys was because I didn't know if you were still doing stuff, because like I always see you guys on Twitter and shit, but Royal
Shit,
also hasn't
I feel
uploaded a
fucking
video in a
off.
while.
God damn it.
You almost got away, but you
Zoiney
did.
Right.
hasn't made a video in like 8 months.
I think it's time to let the secret
It's
out.
been
Blue.
9 months.
Blue, I think it's time we let the secret out. We're not making videos anymore. We're just full-time Twitter tweeters.
Yeah. We decided to put our attention elsewhere on Twitter.
There's lots of money to be made there.
They have a much better monetization program. You don't get copyright strikes.
Dude, I just haven't fucking felt like it. Like, I'm making shit now, but like I open up Sony Vegas and I'm just like, fuck it, I don't want to do this right
well,
now.
there's the problem. You're using Sony Vegas.
I
Joe-
love Sony Vegas.
To be fair, the only reason why like our channel has content frequently, like I didn't make a video for like 3 months that wasn't a podcast, basically, because I like doing the podcast, but it's real easy. It's real easy. So we can just do it every week. If I was like doing a
Yeah.
review or a top 10, you'd see a video twice a year.
Hey, man. Something we have in common.
And that's what scumbags do, is release videos.
Release easy videos.
No, release like videos very infrequently. It's like a
Yeah.
stab at Zoiney.
Well, to be fair, I only really started the channel because I started a podcast. It like, yeah, was like, oh, I can just put this on YouTube if I fucking screen record. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
just
don't know.
want to take the time to say that Blue is wrong.
So
Go ahead and take the time and say I'm not.
So I've only got
I
one
think we
question
need
left for you guys, and then we can wrap this up, and I'll announce the winner of The Witcher 2 on Steam, and then we can
Right on.
announce next week's guest and wrap this show up. So I'm wondering what you guys are excited for E3, because that starts tomorrow. Is there anything you're looking forward to? You got any predictions?
Glass guard.
Oh, no. Blue,
I don't know a goddamn thing about E3 right now,
Blue?
man.
Let's
Like,
rock, paper, scissors.
let me. No, you.
Let's rock,
Go
paper,
first.
scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, you won, Blue. Go ahead.
No, that means he gets to pick who goes.
Yeah. Fucking Mario Maker sounds pretty cool. Like, I heard that they were gonna talk about a 3DS game and take like an hour doing it, and it might be this Mario Maker thing.
It
I don't
might
know.
be it.
I'll be completely honest.
There's been huge rumors about a 3DS Metroid game.
Well, they're
That'd be-
doing a
that-
90-minute like Nintendo Direct this week, and so I mean that's a long
Yeah.
one in comparison to what they normally do, because they're like 20 minutes, and so there's a lot of stuff that's
Yeah.
going to be in there. Like they've confirmed that they're going to talk about X, like the new Xeno game for the Wii U.
Yep.
They confirmed that they're talking about Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei, and
Mhm.
that's also for Wii U. There's a Smash Bros tournament for the new Smash game that's going to be on Wii U.
That's pretty cool.
Like they're doing the Wii U version, not the 3DS version that comes out like next month or something. But
Oh, man.
Yeah.
like Nintendo's announced what they're talking about basically and what they're doing at E3. Because basically everyone has at this point. I don't like. This is a strange E3 because basically everyone has announced that every game is getting pushed back to next year. Like, Batman Arkham Knight has been pushed back to
Welcome
2015.
to next gen.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham Knight. There's another Batman game coming out.
Yeah,
Batman.
it's the last one. It's the very last
I feel
one.
like
It's
a
made by the same
dumbass.
guys who
I'm
made the
so
last.
sorry.
Who made the first one? It's okay. Don't worry.
I've
It's
been
okay, you're just
Oh,
so
stupid.
Out of the loop. Like
Well-
I've been playing Sunshine recently. Like I've been like, like,
It's okay. You guys have been good guests because you actually talked about video games.
Yay, video games!
We've had guests
Yeah.
on who haven't talked the whole time after their intro.
Hi, this is what's his face. Hi.
Hi.
That's the last thing he said.
Yeah,
I'm gonna listen
basically.
to you guys talk.
That has happened. I'm not gonna call anyone out, but
But if you're one of those guests who didn't say anything and you're in the chat, sorry.
We're not.
yeah. It's okay, they're not in the chat. I know they're not in the chat. I know who they are.
No, you don't. It's not like
Ryan.
you run this podcast or anything.
Yeah, Ryan, I would hope you know who you're talking about right now. Just making up guests now. But is it my turn to answer?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
This is probably a cop-out answer because I'm kind of in the same boat where I really don't know. But I heard rumors, and I really emphasize the word rumors when I say this. I heard rumors that there's a new IP from Nintendo that might or might not come out. And if that's true, I'm really excited for that.
That'd be sick.
If not, just Nintendo in general seems like they kind of have the edge this E3.
Well, I think they're the only
because-
one that like hasn't announced that all of their games are pushed back to next year, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Nintendo just seems right now. Everyone fucking laughed at the Wii U and picked all the jokes at it, but it seems like right now the Wii U is kind of the console that's like
Worth
everyone's
owning.
Nintendo's
looking at
like,
right now.
Nintendo's finally like, yes, we're winning.
Well, they came out a
Good old
year earlier.
Shiggy's just like
Yeah. Well, when their
Shiggy's
console
just like in his hot tub with
Okay,
cash, just
when
like yes.
When you look at the amount of games that are actually released on the new consoles, it's something like the Wii U has 87 titles total, and the Xbox One has like 17, and the PS3 has like 14. So it's like,
yeah.
and that's like all of the titles, not just like big disc-based titles. And if you think about like what is big on Xbox One, it's like Rise, which is like just an okay game that was a launch game, but it's like the best of the launch games, even though it's not a good game. And then Titanfall, and it's like that's all they have. And then if you think about like the PlayStation, they have
Knack.
Second Son.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like,
Knack.
No.
whereas like the Wii U,
You
everything
could
that
play
Nintendo,
Knack.
oh fucking knack. But basically, like everything Nintendo has released on the Wii U is a good game. Like Mario Kart 8 is a great game. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, great game. Pikmin 3, great game. Like they have a
It seems
'It's
3D
not like
Land
Mario-
or 3D World. I mean, also a great game. Like they have fucking titles on that thing, whereas
it's not-
no one else has any.
It's not like Mario Kart 8 just increased the sales of the Wii U by like over 600%.
Well, that's not saying much,
Joe.
seeing as they were selling like something like 3,000 units in the UK and like
Okay.
Joe,
less
sick-
than that a
Joe.
month.
Compared
Also,
to the amount of
to be
consoles
fair,
that
that
I've
stat that you're
sold-
pulling out is actually incorrect because no, everyone's like it increased stat sales by 600%, but no one ever fucking says in the region. So that's only
Joe.
in the UK, and the UK was selling something like less than 1,000 units of the Wii U a month. So
Joe,
they
I
went
just
from like
want to say one thing.
Yes.
600% of one person is 6 people.
yeah. So like the thing is that they went from selling like
Six.
basically what they did is like they went from 1,000 consoles to 6,000 consoles is like in one
Hey,
region.
they did something right. I mean, like, that's good still. It sounds
Yeah,
nice.
I guess when you've been doing really bad, any improvement is a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I
like
used to say,
that stat's
that's
getting
what
kind of
consoles that
frustrating
I've sold.
because people like keep pulling it out. I'm just like, no, the console's still doing terrible
everyone
on
does that.
sales.
Well, that's what everyone, like, company does. Like, they totally are just going to look for the statistic that's, like, the most favorable. So, like,
That's what
they can say, like, we
Microsoft's been
sold
doing.
6 times or 600%, whatever sounds like. We're doing good. That's what the one that you're going to hear.
Well, like Microsoft has been kind of struggling because every month, like Sony's like, we've sold 2 million more PlayStations, and so Microsoft has like stopped even saying that they're selling them. They're like, Sony maybe isn't that far ahead. They maybe sold 7 million PlayStations, but we've shipped 5 million. It's like, but you haven't sold 5 million. You shipped them. How many of those haven't been
GameStop?
sold?
GameStop bought 5 million Xbox Ones?
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing good.
But that is
GameStop
just
But,
setting up a giant tournament. 5 million person Killer Instinct tournament.
But yeah, to answer the question, what I'm excited for at E3, to sum it up, Nintendo.
Yeah,
I'm excited about Nintendo.
I'm excited about Nintendo too.
I think
I'm also
everyone
gonna
is.
get my hopes.
Cop-out answer.
I'm also gonna get my hopes up for Last Guardian. I'm
I'm
hoping
doubting it's
that
going to be there.
I'm hoping that this announcement of it being canceled from IGN was just a way to hype the game back up before E3.
It very well could be, honestly.
Well then, let's
A man can dream, Ryan. A man can dream.
like it's
Joe.
so vaporware. It's more vaporware than Duke Nukem Forever was.
And that game came out. Let's not talk about how much it sucked.
Yeah, that game sure came out.
At least it came out.
Like a decade later, really
Zelda
bad
2
fucking
came
game.
out.
Zelda 2 did come out. That was an awful game. So let's wrap this up then. So
Yeah, raps.
I get the winner of the copy of The Witcher 2 for Steam is Mint301. I'll be contacting you on YouTube.
Lewis.
All right, should we all do a golf clap?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Now that if you didn't have a pop filter like my headset doesn't, that probably hurt your ears. So you're welcome.
No problem.
So, yes, Mint301, I'll message you on YouTube about how to send you that. And then next week's guest is the 8-Bit Duke. He's going to be coming on. We're going to be talking about some E3 stuff. Because
Yeah.
E3 starts tomorrow.
It will have happened then.
Yeah, it will have happened. We will no longer be predicting. We will be discussing.
Yeah. Next time on Dapper Gaming.
Next time.
So, thank you all for watching and or listening to the 61st episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast. I've been Ryan. That dude's been Joe.
Yeah.
And we had the great special guests, Zoiney and RoyalBleu. Thank you both for coming on. You were great guests.
Wow.
You managed to fill out all of the not news that we had, so... Because there was like 3 things to talk about this week. So thank God you guys
We
came
talked
on
about
and talked
Witcher
about
3
Witcher
a lot.
3.
Yeah. Witcher 3 is a good game.
Best game.
So,
I
Game of
already
the year,
played it.
all years.
I beat it.
It's going to be Game of the
So,
Year
no, you
2014. Doesn't even come out till next year, but...
I have a feeling Joe's lying. And I guess on that note, I want to say, if you listen, thanks. And if you're in the chat and I offended you, sorry.
I think we can all
He's not sorry.
extend
He-
that.
Especially me.
Apologies.
I should probably go try to
Shaky
find
mind,
that and
Nicky.
just like, damn it, now I had to edit that too. Fuck.
So can we just end the outro with all of us saying that so you have to edit more?
No. Well,
No.
I'll just say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're off. We're done.
No.
Okay.
Please don't edit out Niggy.
I'm probably not. I'm way too lazy. Do you guys
That was
know
funny.